Hey, Madz here. Today I want to break down two LinkedIn posts that got me very good results and a little bit of the copy behind it so you can see because I've realized all good posts that pretty much went viral or get a lot of clicks or get a lot of followers, they always have a lot of copy blocks, and I will explain this a little bit at the end after I show you the posts. But the first post is this one that I posted literally 1 day ago, and it already got a lot of results, good results that LinkedIn kind of works weird. Like your post keeps getting attraction for like weeks to come. I think like 2 weeks. So the lifespan of a post on LinkedIn is actually good. So I know this is gonna be pushed even way more. But I want to talk about why, because just looked at them and I was like, why did these go really well? And I will actually analyze my own content real quick to show you the difference between what I'm seeing working right now. So the post went viral because I guess not went viral, but did pretty good. It's because the angle is different. So these are just what I call winning angles. Like $200 a week changed my life. This is all about like my pricing model, right? Like most people laughed when I told them my pricing model. I've seen the same pattern when I talked about how my business is built around Google Docs. So like my client results are Google Docs. How I write is in Google Docs. Like everything is around Google Docs, and I've got actually a lot of people from this idea of selling Google Docs, which I call my other winning angle, right? So you will see your winning angles the minute that you just get more attention. People asking questions, just like a lot of like engagement around what's happening, right? So the winning angle is this. The post type is me just talking about my own model. And obviously we have the results. I want to talk about the hook. So obviously $200 a week changed my life works because it creates this instant tension. Like your brain asks, how? Like $200 a week is not that much money. How did this change your life, right? So it builds curiosity and it creates that little gap. Then the body, I talk about pain, like how using this model, or I guess like getting rid of your pain. If you're using this model, like you get skeptics who probably don't trust you enough or they have tons of questions. And they wouldn't have paid 3K up front, but they're gonna pay $200 to 250 a week just to try it, just to see. So you obviously get more clients and more yeses because of it. I talk about the promise, as in like if you get 10 clients at 250 a week, you can make 10K easily. I talk about proof, as in how I've been running this model for 1 year. It's more than 1 year, but I don't know. And how clients renew themselves. I talk about curiosity, as in like this pricing model is the mechanism. And I talk about constraints, as in is this a perfect pricing model? No. I like to add constraints in my post because it shows it shows that I'm real. I'm a realist, right? Like I don't just try to make everything perfect because I think that a lot of people try to make their writing perfect or the scenario perfect or everything just looks like there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think so. I feel like you get more clients if you make sure that they understand that there's a lot of questions behind your head and you're answering and you're actively showing that you know that there's constraints and then there's stuff and there's friction in it and you're addressing that friction, right? And then obviously the CTA, which is I share more on how I monetize my free newsletter, join here, right? So the post is actually really basic, really simple, not that long, but it did really, really well in 1 day, and it's just gonna keep people pushed. So you have hook, you have the pricing, not the pricing, the body, which I'm talking about, my thinking behind why I'm doing this, right? So you're kind of selling this idea and then asking people to take action. Obviously, picture with yourself because that's what people do on LinkedIn, right? Next one is the transformation one. Again, I recommend everyone to do a transformation one. The angle is I got rejected from every job for a full year, and it was the best thing that happened to me. Just because like I run my dream business, that's why it's the best thing that happened to me, even if it was the worst thing that happened in that year. The post type is transformation, and obviously you have results. I didn't add a CTA, which I'm sad. Sometimes I'm thinking I shouldn't add that many CTAs because people probably get bored, and I chose not to add because in my head, it was like this post is gonna build my brand, and I'm not asking people to take action right now, right? That was my thinking process behind it. Obviously, the picture did most of the selling, right? I have a template for you at the end. Hook is I got rejected, right? This creates a lot of it starts negative, and people are gonna be like, oh wow, what happened? How can this be like the best thing that happened to you, right? The body, I talk about obviously my pain, how I got rejected, how I didn't have money, how I was desperate to work from home. It's the pain I had, and I make sure it's the pain that my ideal customer has. Like probably my ideal customer didn't get rejected from jobs, but they're probably doing something. They just keep failing until they can't take it anymore, right? Same with the promise. I made sure that I named the things I have and the things that my clients want, which is being a full-time writer, which is running a business, which is not having a full sales team, no sales calls, and just build their business with writing offers and community, right? Did I have proof as in like, here's the before and after. I was sad, now I'm good. Curiosity, which is the monetization thing, like how I use monetization, how I learned this skill that changed my life. And then you have constraints again. Some days is the hardest thing I've ever done. I make sure that I'm not telling this woo-woo dream of like, you just have to do it and then everything's gonna be nice and you're not gonna have any friction in it. No, I made sure that this is the hardest thing I've done and it's the most valuable thing I have right now because of it. And here's the Canva template I talked about. Just make sure you put your pictures, you put the right years. Make sure you add your branding because if you just copy it and you don't change maybe the font or how it looks, then you just want to make sure that it looks original, right? So it is a template, you can use it. Make sure you add your branding though, and obviously no CTA. And why do I think it performed really well is because again, like I'm showing where to look, as in like rejection is not that bad, but what you have to do is build that skill of getting rejection, getting data, and then just using it to actually win. I don't think I said for the other thing why it worked. Okay, so the other post I said why it worked, it was because it was an insight post, it was not value. So notice how both posts are not value. I'm not saying here's a step by step on how to price yourself. Here's a step by step of exactly what I did to go from A to B, right? It's more about showing people where to look. Look at this model with the pricing, or how I play with the pricing and how and what the result it got for me, right? Again, here, like, look at this skill that I learned, monetization, how it completely changed my life. So it's more about where to look and not exactly what to do and how to copy me, because I'm losing the whole point if I just teach people, right? Because then I want them to buy. And obviously, there's 6 copy blocks. I've learned this from a seven figure copywriter. He is the best. And the moment I start using this, my copy completely changed in conversion rates. And it works for everything basically. So you have pain, promise, proof, curiosity, constraints, and conditions. Conditions are more used for like landing pages, sales pages, VSLs, but still you can sometimes use it. But I will show you basically why you should care about this, right? 90% of the time, copy can be improved by adding one or many of these copy blocks. So let's, for example, talk about like a simple headline, right? For example, most headlines could be like, hey, how to go from struggling freelancer to landing high-paying clients and making 10K a month. This is a good headline. Will appeal to a lot of people. But let's just add another block. Let's just add constraints. So now this turns into how to go from struggling freelancer to landing high-paying clients without cold outreach, Upwork, or job boards. Now it's more appealing because it starts adding more context. It starts answering people's questions, right? Let's add something else. Let's add curiosity. New wildcard copywriting, this is a bad name, but anyway, method allows struggling freelancers to land high-paying clients without this. More appealing, right? Because now people are asking, oh, what is this, right? Let's add more. Let's add proof. 9-figure copywriting reveals new wildcard copywriting method that allows struggling freelancers to land high-paying clients, blah, 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 blah. See how powerful it is? Like it has proof, it has curiosity, it has the struggle, it has the promise, and it has the stuff that you don't want to deal with. So more words does not mean better copy, but more copy blocks in fewer words means better copy. So what do I mean? These are copy blocks. These are the stuff like just simple words. Some people just add too much fluff in the middle. They just add stuff that instead of saying reveals, they add 5 words just to have the same meaning as one word as the reveal. Does that make sense? And then here's a little map that I think is going to be useful for people. If people don't stop scrolling at your posts, at your emails, whatever it is, you're missing pain. So just make sure you add more pain. If people read but they don't act, you probably already closed the gap. So you have to add more curiosity. Don't just give them everything straight up. If people say, oh, sounds good, but I'm not sure, and they're in their head, you're probably missing proof. So make sure you add receipts. If people ask, is this for me? You're probably missing constraints. The thing is, if this is for me, or like these questions, or I guess this objection, sometimes people don't say them, but we can tell because they're quiet. They're not asking anything. They're just laid back. They ghost us. So these leads actually are asking this stuff, but we just can't see it because they're just quiet. right? So you want to make sure that if you have all these copy blocks, you make sure you deal with every objection they have, right? So is this for me? You're missing constraints. Too good to be true? You're missing conditions, right? But what do I actually get? You're missing the promise. So sometimes this just translates into them being quiet. That's why you always have to make sure, like, do I have this one? Do I have this copy block? Do I have this copy block? Right? So yeah, I think seeing everything in copy blocks really helps you being get good at copy, or like write copy that converts. But yeah, you can probably write something like this and test your angles. I think the biggest thing with content is testing your angles and actually testing a bunch of things and then seeing your winning angles and then just keep repeating them. Because you better know that me in 3 months, I'm reposting this stuff, right? Because I know it's gonna work again. But yeah, this is pretty much what it is. Try to like maybe rewrite this post. Try to play with the copy blocks because they're absolutely huge in copywriting. But yeah, I hope you have a good day and I can't wait to see your posts.